Hi, it's Scott Allen, and this week in the lead up to the third and final Bledisloe Cup match for the year, I've been looking for a chink in the All Blacks' armour that the Wallabies may be able to exploit. I can't see the Wallabies winning a defensive arm wrestle, so I think they've got to go out and attack the All Blacks. Is there anything in the All Blacks' defensive system that may offer some hope? Let's have a look. Watch any All Blacks game and you'll see that their one weakness in defence is that they can get caught narrow in their defensive structure. So from a kick here you can see that there's no one on the far side of the field and the Wallabies have got space on the outside. I've seen a number of examples this year where they've got caught narrow from their kick chase, so the Wallabies need to move the ball wide and early when they receive a kick. Now, when it's not on counter-attack, you'll quite often see the All Blacks set up in a narrow structure like you can see in these examples. They offer teams space on the outside. They're trying to force teams to go around them and not give them any opportunity to go through the middle of them. Then they'll back their cover defence to drift across and force the opposition towards the sideline, leaving them no space. The other issue with that, when you go around teams, is that you're a long way away from your forwards if there is a breakdown, and that's why the All Blacks get so many turnovers, because the other teams are spread wide trying to attack into this space you can see, but they can't get numbers there in support. As we roll through these examples, you can see that the teams that are attacking have got a numerical advantage, and they are attacking space outside the last man or the defensive end in the All Black defence system. In this particular example, Nonu is the All Blacks' defensive end, and the Springboks have got nearly half the width of the field outside him. Nonu goes back inside, and then Sevilla, who's come up, is left to defend with the assistance of the cover coming across. And that was an example where a team got outside the cover. In this example, Kieran Reid is the defensive end, and the English get outside him. It's then fantastic cover defence to turn and chase it, shut it down. In this case, Ben Smith from the wing is the defensive end for the All Blacks, and you'll see in this case that he knows he's got numbers outside, so he backs off, which gives time for the cover to come and help him. Here England have got a 3-on-1 against Ben Smith on the wing, and even with that sort of advantage, he backs off, which gives time for the cover to come across inside, and they were able to shut this down. So there is space, but can it be used? Here's an example where there appears to be some space outside, and the Wallabies have got plenty of numbers, but they just move the ball across field, and the All Blacks just drift across, push them towards the sideline. Again here, the Wallabies have got numbers and there is space, but they drift in their attack, and the All Blacks just come across, shut them down. They're using the touchline as another defender, and you'll see that time and time again. So is it a case that this space on the outside that I'm showing you is really not space you can use? It just appears to be there, but it can be shut down too easily. Well, certainly if you attack like you can see teams are doing here, where their attack drifts towards the sideline, that space is worthless, and you're just going too far away from your support, and you risk getting turned over or going over the touchline, as you can see in some of these examples. But just because the space isn't used well in these examples and the All Blacks cover up very well, doesn't mean that space can't be used. You've just got to approach it in a slightly different way. So the first thing to understand is that when teams use this jockey defence system, they normally turn and run towards the sideline, backing off, as I said, giving them room. And I've highlighted here 3 All Blacks. You'll see their shoulders already turned towards the sideline. And as we roll this clip on, you'll see that it's Conrad Smith who also turns outside towards the touchline, and he's going out looking to defend Tuilagi and gets beaten on the inside. From this scrum, you'll see the All Blacks are short on this side of the field, so Conrad Smith and the cover are all turned with their shoulders towards the sideline, and that's going to mean that Smith is vulnerable to a player coming back inside him, running behind him effectively. Now the reality is, if you're going to defend with a narrow defensive structure like the All Blacks use, you're going to have to turn and run towards the sideline, and there you can see Nonu beaten on the inside. Here's another example, and again, Nonu is the one that turns out and is beaten back on the inside. It's then left to the cover coming across to clean up. And from the All Blacks' most recent match, you can see here that both the All Black defenders have got their shoulders turned to the sideline, and Vermeulen just goes in behind Nonu. Now, I'm not suggesting that this happens every time the All Blacks are defending, but when they're narrow in defence, it's likely that they will turn towards the sideline, and the Wallabies have got to target that inside channel. So here, 3 All Black forwards going across field, and if Genia gives this ball inside to Kurandrani, look at the space that he could have run into on the inside. So a simple inside ball will have worked. Here, again, you'll see now all the All Blacks are starting to turn and run sideways towards the line. Nonu came out of the line, but with Ashley Cooper cutting back inside, that's where the space is, not outside these defenders. And I'll show you in a minute 2 ways the Wallabies might be able to target that inside space. But here's another example where Leali'ifano can see that the All Blacks are turned to the sideline and he goes back inside and behind Luatua. Once again, the space here, Leali'ifano gets in behind Conrad Smith. And when you look at it, and we freeze the frame here, you can see Conrad Smith has got his shoulders turned out and Leali'ifano recognises it and comes back in. Now Smith's such a good defender he was able to cover that up. And if we look at that Vermeulen break again, you'll see that the entire All Blacks line is going towards the sideline and Vermeulen just goes back in behind and catches Nonu out. Now with Conrad Smith not there this weekend, I think there's an opportunity for the Wallabies to target the centre pairing who haven't played together in that role, and particularly Nonu. Come back in behind him, particularly when he takes a couple of steps out of the line. Now here are 2 options the Wallabies could use. The first is an out-in pass, so the passes are shown in white. It's a long pass to the outside man and then a short pass to a guy running back on his inside hip, and he's going to target the space in behind that defender. The second is a simple switch. The ball carrier runs out to keep the defence coming across the field, and the player behind him simply switches back inside and goes in behind that defender again. Of course, the All Blacks are good enough to adapt to this on the field if the Wallabies do try it. But when they start covering the inside man, the space actually on the outside will be available, so the Wallabies can then mix it up a bit.